Yeah, on the other page. I'm ready for a good night. Hopefully you all are too. Yes, just a few more seconds. And then we say, hi, I'm Brenda Jane Power. I am on Medicine Woman Soultion. And what we are going to talk about tonight, that's always a good question. I feel like my lamp moved. So I got this all this extra light in my face, but I'm not going to stand up and try to fix it. You don't need to see my belly button. So, right. Anyway, it is a very good day. It's been very cold here. Sometimes we can't understand why spirit, we want to blame. With the lack of information, we want to blame. Hey, Crystal. What do we want to blame about when bad shit happens? Why? Why did that happen? It's like a major question. Why? Why did that happen? I've been fortunate enough to listen to souls that I can get the answer to why. So let me explain. When things are meant to change, to shift, to put you in a state of mind where it's supposed to help you grow, and big sulfur crest, a white one, and we have a pink and gray galar, and then we have a rainbow lariat, and we have a lot of cockatiels with a little bunch of other kind of birds. They're teeny, all the way down to the teeny ones. Yes, I understand there's a hierarchy within all of it. And you have to respect that world. Well, I've been watching and it seems all right, and little by little. So, okay, so I can see that the pink galar she's still a baby, but she made it up with the rainbow lariat. He's a baby. So now those two teamed up and have fallen in love and hang out all the time. But they get into a Bonnie and Clyde state, and you got to keep an eye on them. And they get into a honeymooner state, if you ever watched that movie, where it's to the moon, Alice. Simply put, wow, can they have fights? So I watch, and my little lariat can act like a bat, climb upside down and hang from the ceiling. And you're like, what? He's got like little Velcro feet, I swear. Quite funny. Well, a couple days ago, I went to the bird store and I got a pink bird to match my other pink bird because something happened. And we've been trying to figure this out. Now, I think there's some bullying going on inside my... So we got a beautiful cockatiel with white face. All gray, white face. We call him Yeti. And Yeti didn't say a word. I kept watching, like, something's not right, something's not right. My beaky boys would come up, and they're little fishers with great big beaks. I think of the beaky blinders. And so they would come into the cage, and I built the 3 different separate cages inside the big one for protection. And I'm watching, and it's like as soon as they know I'm looking, know it. I'm watching. I said, something's not right. I could feel it. And so Mr. Yeti decided he's staying in the one cage safely. Now the door can only be open so far. Somehow, my little lariat decides he's small enough, just like the cockatiels, decided, hey, I found the entry. Now that's a couple days later. And I'm watching. Now they've been, between the pink and gray and galar and the lariat, they've been, stomping ground. They're like the mob. It was like, this is my territory, and this is like gang fights. And I'm like, my God. So I get up one morning, I go out, run out, look real quick. Everything looks all right. So that afternoon, something just didn't seem right, and I just was spying like in the bushes. And lo and behold, the Yeti just went right after the lariat. They went flying and screaming, and I'm like, so I went in and I grabbed the Yeti, and it just like pretty much ate its back end. Now there was still a lot of meat there, and I noticed that the little feathers that make the crown were disappeared. We started nursing him back to health. We gave him all the birdie stuff that he needs to make sure his wound doesn't get affected. And, he hung with us. He sat on my husband day and night, just, and then we're like, oh, everything seems to be okay. And Spirit just kind of just let me go busy, go do something else. And I thought, okay. And then as I am sitting here working today, my husband comes in and he's just like, he walked over to me, because he would sit there next to my husband. Then he walked over to me and had a seizure and then just fell over. And I just picked him up and started to, kept telling him, you're not alone, you're not alone. And he died. And if you know what shock feels like, it's that rejection of what you just witnessed. That's very important to understand in your world, that it's a rejection. And the thing I hear running through my head is, the soul knows why. Good point. The soul knows why. Now I'm, consoling my husband. He is attached to the bird, and we decided that as we were trying to fix up the second cage, lariat, was hanging up, dangling. He likes to get caught in my hair and makes a rat nest and hangs in there. Well, the pink and gray one, my husband put it back in the cage real quick because it wasn't the biggest threat. It was the lariat. Neither one of those birds can go in there again. And as soon as I took them out, it was harmony. I mean, they're like swinging and flying and all over, top, bottom, floor. I said, okay, from now on, this is a peaceful sanctuary. And as I asked her, okay, instead of my ego going, oh my God, why did he die? Why? That's usually the question we usually say. Oh, Amy must have got frozen. I'm like, what's going on? No, something's not right. I heard a door. Where'd that come from? Doesn't matter. Weird. Getting back to the show, it is this part where we have to understand why we ask questions. And then I said, okay, why did this happen? Why did my mind wanted to go to, oh my God, he just sat there and took it. Oh my God, I can run to the end of my timeline. I could take in everything that I saw and everything that I'd witnessed the last few days. Oh my God. And the Spirit says, do your best to love, but do your best to not over-identify with matter and necessary. And the Spirit says, now understand, the more meaning you give to it, the more it could hurt. So do you really want it to hurt? So I was giving meaning where, oh my God, why is this happening? The poor bird, everything else. And when Spirit says, now listen, just don't over-identify, but listen. The bird didn't want to be around, so it was going to do an act of service. You couldn't see what you needed to see, the stress, all of that. And I thought, I couldn't. You're right. It's been quite a few months. And then they showed me back September that it was very subtle. And it took a bitch slap, a dramatic event before something changed. And I thought, no. Spirit says, stop rejecting what the souls of everything signed up for. That bird wanted to help save the rest of the birds. That bird didn't want to be here anyway. And I have to respect the choice and how it wanted to demonstrate to leave. And I'm not giving justice to the words to the soul, because we have to respect what the soul goes through. And it had a job to do. Without that, it could have cost other souls, other birdies' lives, the stress alone. By having that act occur, it made a major difference on how I am to interact with the birds. To now we can take in the pink and gray and tame them down, help them find love with humans, help them to adjust. Again, they're not going to be able to interact with the other birds, but they will interact with our other big bird. And all he does is look at me and going, really? I do not need birdie friends. He's got like this attitude. Hey, you got a dog? I'll take a dog. If you got a human, I'll take a human. Just not one of my kind type things. But we have to respect the soul. And at first, it was like I wanted to feel, or stopped rejecting what I was going to just run with all of these words and thoughts and pain. You can find a different respect. Like the time when my mother and father-in-law, when I heard their souls were ready to go, I was like, wait, what? And I had many months to prepare. And then it all started to unfold. And even though I was there wanting to help, even people expected me to help, and they played their role too, which was consciously they didn't want to go, but their soul did. And deep down, I think they did. They think they were tired of what they were going through. It cannot be wrapped around an ego mindset. You will not understand it. It is a different frequency. It's a different language. And as I began to watch how mom and dad started to deteriorate, the more I understood what was happening. And so I just stood back and asked, what am I supposed to do? How would you like me to help these souls? And it was basically be there for the loved ones that were remaining. And learning to keep your mouth shut about something you know can, sometimes it's just not the easiest thing to do. But to understand that there is a reason, not trying to invalidate the bird soul. I am not trying to invalidate anybody's pain. I'm not trying to surrender it, but it is a bigger picture when the soul is ready to do what it needs to do in its contract. The more emotion you are, the more emotional the words will be, the more the words will be in high beta, the thought processing, the things that make you go wild and drive you mad, and they don't allow sanity. When you're upset, you just want your world to make sense. And what does that usually mean? It means that the thoughts, you can get some clarity, or thoughts just calm down. And the thoughts are driven by the chemical peptide of emotions. Emotions are what drive the thought. And if you have past experiences of unresolved issues, you can sweep them under the feet, under the rug. You can suppress it. You can do all those things, but your body's consciousness records it all. And whether you participate with it, will use bitch slaps to wake you up. They are not fun. They're not healthy, but we use them because that's what we know. Now, while I'm still talking, understand that we are in collecting email. So if you want your 1 minute read, go ahead and you email in, and we will do that. If you want to be on today's show, then you can go ahead and pay for 6 minutes. Come on to the show. You don't even have to come onto the show. You can just be into the room, whatever room you choose, and we are open to that as well. Find out why. Find out what your soul is up to. Find out what unresolved issues you have. Find out what's in the Akashic records. Find out what you need to resolve so you can evolve. You are a soul that's meant to do many things. And the hardest part is learning to accept what's in the soul contract, because as humans, we just like to get emotionally upset and we don't even know we do it. I mean, you're like, well, sure, everybody does. Well, when you can't resolve something, it can turn to depression. It can turn to anxiety. Your body can create symptoms that match something so that you will always respond that way. It is up to you to understand that you can be empowered not to have it own you. So recently, well, not recently, today, there was a lot of things that came forward about how is it that what I do can help anybody. There's a lot that we can do. If you have an emotional upset, it can help. If you have a mental high beta, you can't stop overthinking, the quality and the quantity of your thoughts, there's a lot you can do to help correct that. Your body's innate will help you heal that first. Then as you use a tool, having the education from the soul helps you have a tool. You can learn how to become a spiritual human. And that's what you were designed to be in the first place. Was it your spirit first? People have come to me and said, you know what? I want to wake up. Yes. Classes that we do to do this. I want to grow. I just don't feel, I feel stuck. I feel like I can't move. That's fine. That's doable too. And then there's some people that says, I know there's something else more important. Sometimes you can't see them, even if it's obvious. So you have to heal the chunks. So you have an aim, you have a goal, and you start working through that. And that means that you would have to do several sessions in order to start to achieve. Your timing of how and when you want to do it is up to you. And the more you invest in that, the more results you're going to get and the faster it is. You get to decide. Now, a lot of people say, well, I just feel like I'm stuck. And most of the time, you're going to have to learn and unlearn behaviors, your temperament, your personality can cover this. Too much anger, too much. What do you mean too much? I'm perfectly fine. My life is great, but the but is a belief under transition. It is the but that we're meant to look at. And your temperament and your personality and your attitude will come from the end result of any issue. And if the more happiness you have, the more you're going to have a great personality, or you're going to be able to succeed, or you're going to be able to do this. The more emotions that you are unable to process, cope, handle, deal, and pacify, that is the end result. They become trapped emotions, and they get to show you your mood, your personality, and your temperament. And sometimes you need to be able to resolve those emotions out so you can have the mental clarity and you'll be able to spiritually move forward. Sometimes people just want to work on habits, a fear, a pattern, a strategy. And yes, you can work on all those. You got to decide how you want to aim. This isn't just about giving you information so you can live tomorrow. It is about resolving the stuff from the past, get your power back so your energy can create a better tomorrow. What you think about today will be your tomorrow. What you thought about yesterday is your today and your tomorrow. 90% of your thoughts that you had the day before are always going to be today. And you will have them tomorrow. How you do anything is how you do everything until you create a disrupt. Okay? Some of you have entered the dark night of the soul. Some of you are just beginning. Okay? See, before the dark night of the soul, there is, my life is great, but I feel stuck. And the dark night of the soul is when you're waking up and you begin to realize, oh my God, and you start to question things. But what happens is, I don't want to change my behavior. I like who I am. And you begin to fight with yourself about keeping those programs that limit you from succeeding where you need to go. It is in the conflict between the ego self and the intuitive self that you begin to wrestle. And the more you get into the emotion, the more you're going to want to stay into. But because you have this urge and you have this spirit pull, which you didn't have before, but now you do, because you got a taste of spirit and now you want more, you know it's the reward. You know it's something that you desire. And you're going to end up waking up one day and saying, okay, you know what? I want to change. But then you can't. This is where you're going to get a kick in the ass, a slap in the face, up to, a flying bitch slap. And you got to be forced to get down on one knee and say, okay, fine. You're like, oh, I don't want to go back to that. We're things that we do here at Medicine Woman Solution is help you process the emotions so you can become happier. But we also take and help you process those patterns and process all of those things. You can begin to be educated so you can hear differently through your higher self, through your authentic self, so that you can look and see what you want. Start to aim for it. When you see you have something that stops you, a limited decision, a limited belief, you need a change up of value. You need to unlearn some habits. You need to unlearn some things. You're going to be able to learn how to do it on a whisper. Maybe a little nudge here and there. A little bit of in your face. And that ego lesson will kick in. And you'll feel that lesson. And you'll begin to identify as you choose to go into the ego lesson and you choose to begin to process out the trapped emotions that create the ego lesson, the more clarity you get to the point down the road, you don't ever really have to have a bitch slap again because you're gaining the wisdom. Your brain likes to learn stuff new so it can stop predicting old shit. You got the wisdom, the brain will go, ooh, I know what this is. And you begin to evolve. Okay, you begin to evolve. Now again, you want a free reading, there's the email. If you want a paid, there it is. Well. How is everybody doing tonight? Or this morning for all of you in that land. And look at the YouTubers that are here. Wonderful. Glad to have you. Give me a shout out about where you're at. And I think that 9 o'clock is a pretty good time to come on for those that really want it and need it. And you can process through a lot of things. People spend hours and hours in meditation. But one of the things I know that Hope Therapy does is it helps you process out the emotions that mess with your thinking. It really does. So I want to introduce you to my moderator, the one that reads, and I want you to notice one thing. Now, this is just a psychic thing that occurred. So just to let you know, 2 seconds before the show started, and I started laughing because it was, hello, we're both going to choose orange today. Her fringe is swept. I can't pull that off. It frames her glasses. I think it looks really good. I think she found a style that says that, hey, I can tolerate myself, right? Why do I say that, people? Because she's actually agreed to this haircut. And she's agreed and she's starting to commit and realize this isn't really that bad. So you didn't really insult you that much today, did you? You're like, you may have complained because I'm sure your mother touched your hair as well. But then there's a part of you that thought, hey, don't mess with perfection. That's good. Because
I haven't been through a mirror yet.
Oh, huh. You just woke up out of bed like that. Mm-hmm. Dang, woman. You had done this the night before?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, that must mean she must have looked really hot before she fell asleep. I'm serious. So, understanding that you must at some point when you were doing your hair, you didn't complain, did you?
No.
No. Your energy off of you is like, I feel pretty. Did you get to that stage? Well, some form of acceptance at least?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Because I can see energy. For the first time, it's like, oh, this isn't bad. Okay. All right. And that's a very beautiful radiance that comes off of you. Okay. People don't think it, but their thoughts and their emotions radiate off their body. And that's what people read first, is your energies. Then they read the intrinsic muscles in your eyes and in your face. And so if you're like this, you know, and you're smiling, it's not going to matter. But when you start to change the frequency of your thoughts, you can make your eyes smile. You can make your body perky. You know, you can make yourself feel young again. What do you learn from the Akashic records? Well, everybody has their different theories. For me, I don't need to get swooped up. Okay, Amy, I don't know.
5 a.m. and there are people out driving around, and it's like, why?
Well, it's their experience, and we do not judge them because they probably enjoying the fact that they're up at 5 a.m. or they're complaining because I got to work, or we have no idea. Just that you're looking at it going, that's something I wouldn't do, but that's your experience.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah, no, I wouldn't be out this early in the morning unless I have to work.
I can understand that. Okay, so let's get back to this. Okay, hey, before we go, have you were asking about Akashic records. I think it's funny that, what are Akashic records? Okay, first of all, when I see the Akashic records, a book open up. Well, okay, so I'm going to put you back into, okay. If I really want to dive into your Akashic records, a book will appear and then they'll show me like your soul's lives. We can even follow it down the epigenetic trail. You can see where you have different groupings of certain emotions, of what you haven't accomplished, what perspective you're on, where you got to keep looking, why you keep repeating it, where are you stuck. Okay. Some of your Akashic records. Now, some people look at the Akashic records and it's all about you were in Egypt, and and it's okay. Now, Spirit has come and I've looked at my Akashic records and I could see that the importance of my being here, that was the only thing I really cared about. But then I didn't really either. So you're a starseed. Oh, okay. I didn't need to run with that, but it was cool information. So I was an Egyptian. Now, when I started to really look at what kind of creature I was before I became human, which y'all were, because we didn't create this state first, it was like, really? I'll be darned. Like, totally makes sense of why they look like that. And then when I went through and started to notice that why I wanted to be a healer in this life, and as one of my conventions, I was a medicine woman. A white man made me pissed. But then on the humanization of that, I understood why I was angry, why the paradigm was playing out the way it was. It was like, Then on the Akashic side of it, I saw why my soul signed up for that and why the paradigm was playing out like that. It was like, because when I started to stir up the information just from the medicine woman, she knew it was coming. There wasn't a damn thing that she could do about it. And it's so funny because in this life, there are things that I know are coming that it's like, there's not a damn thing I can do about it. What's the point of telling me? Okay, apparently that was the question I had. I've learned a lot since then, and now I can understand why. Long story short, those Akashic records, I've learned, you want to go. But I was designed to help you understand how to resolve, to evolve, to see where you need to call your energy back, where you lost pieces, why. When I open it up, sometimes everything will just glow to say, this is what the soul wants to work on right here, this life right here. And it is, so when spirits come through the other side, they have access to this information like I do. So because I can see it, they will point out certain things. And so your loved ones will take the advantage of, hey, you can talk to them. Tell them that they can, Yeah. They can, because their soul said it's time. You can see this. You can do this. Other people have other reasons for the Akashic records. I also help you make your Akashic records. That means I help you rewrite parts and the next chapter. What do you want to do while you're in this humanistic state? I'm here to serve. The Akashic records are something that I'm always looking at. I'm not always pointing that out. I don't want you getting lost into missing the whole point of why Spirit brought you to me. I want you to live in joy and happiness. I want you to be successful. I want you to have the thing that you felt like you didn't have when you came in. Does everyone have the ability to see their own records? If you train yourself, if your level of consciousness, if you're at that level of consciousness, we have 7 chakras, them are each levels. If your soul has, what they refer to as an old soul, we're all born at once. All our souls are recorders. How many times does it take to do this will depend on the aging of the soul. So if you have worked through a lot of the levels of the consciousness, because you have to work on the first 3 before you can really work on the rest, and you have evolved enough that you have gathered wisdom, and you decide, hey, I'm going to get my power back, I'm going to do this and that, you can then open up different parts of you that can start accessing your own records. But if your level of consciousness and you haven't evolved like you want and you can access the records, you may not be able to see what it is that your soul wants you to see to evolve. But you will see at the level to which you can see it. And some people won't even be able to develop that because they haven't resolved their soul issues. And so they're like, well, I can't do it. You could. But it depends on the level of consciousness that you're at. I can't express that enough. Okay? It's what resonates to you. I'm going to tell you a little secret. How do you know what your Akashic records are to some degree? What do you like? Do you like Egyptian? Do you like other parts of the world? I like the Renaissance period. And guess what? When I was looking through, I saw I was from the Renaissance. Like, oh, that makes sense. Oh. And then when I started to notice other things I like, it vibrates through you. Do you understand? It is part of your where you're at, and it can support you. And certain information from certain timelines will just come in and support where you need to go. Okay? Again, everybody has a different philosophy. Everybody comes from different experiences. So my words will be different from somebody else's. So it doesn't make them wrong, and it doesn't make me right. It means that we have tapped into this field a little differently. Okay, so we respect where everybody's at. It's about you. Okay, so Amy, have you frozen or? Okay, she's moving. She's moving. Have anybody emailed in? Just double check.
Oh, yes.
Yay. You sounded like the Flintstones there. Yes. It's when they were, can't remember what episode that was. Is yes. No. I don't know why that just came up. Maybe it's because I look like the Flintstones, or is that Charlie Brown? I don't know. I think I look like Fred. I don't know. Spirit just came through and was joking. Well, I'm hoping that, it made sense. But again, if you're really interested, just start listening to other people about their Akashic records or how they tapped into it or how teachers that do it. Now, you get to decide, because you'll start getting this wisdom that will start to rise up inside of you about knowing who you want to be or knowing where you're coming. So it's not, and here's always the huge ass question. Well, how can everybody be Cleopatra? Okay, good question. We don't live in a limit. You have to go into a little bit further. You have dimensions, which has different scenarios. Who's to say I wasn't Cleopatra? Because we all have a particular print, and we all gather that information from the source. And all of us have basically died. There is all of this information that happens to be. So if you're going to dive into this world, you need to get out of ego mindset and suspend that ego to the point when you have a cup, understand it's not about that it's half full or half empty. It can be refilled. And if the cup's too damn small, get a bigger cup. Cup breaks, get a different cup. When you go in and you have all this knowledge, every time I've gone into a healing, tons of classes, I always made sure my cup was empty. I didn't compare. Nope. More information than I didn't already know. And what was the same information, I'd say, ooh, got it. Why was that important? And then I take different notes. So when you are going through and learning different things, you're learning how to connect so you can become better than where you were. It is like when you went to kindergarten, you can't do grad school work until you understand. So all the grades in between help build upon each other to take an accumulation to when you do get there, you'll be amazed at how many different voices. Like I'm writing a couple books. I'm writing one from an interview book. I'm writing one as the healer perspective, the healing and healer perspective. And I'm writing one from the client perspective. And there's actually a couple other different types of scholastic type of books. And so where did that all come from? From the knowledge. All of the experiences that I've collected, all of the things that I go, oh, hey, I thought I knew that, but now that I've seen this and experienced that makes that different. Now I can understand that. So I can let that old part go and I can see why it's good, why it's moving forward. So I don't believe everybody, but I believe everybody. So you learn to let spirit guide you. How do you know how old you are? As far as soul-wise, that depends. I don't check into that. But what I do know is that some people do feel old. Some people still feel fresh. And a lot of it has to do with how much level of consciousness they're at. Where are they on the paradigm scale? Where are they on the first chakra, second and third? Okay. So as they're developing the rest of the chakras, your first three bases to be on this planet have to do with safety, security, and stability. If your major issues are those things, your caudate nucleus is going to be really all about fear. And the more that I see people that have processed through the fear, I know that they really, I don't know how to explain it. It's like they've had enough experience. They've gone around many times and they've collected out of the kaleidoscope of life all of these different perspectives over and over. And that can mean that they could be older than what they think they are. So I don't go by age. Other people might do that, but that's not what I was designed to see. Okay. I'm just double checking on the questions and okay, real good. Now, again, you want to email, I'll give you a read. If you want to pay, I'm there too. So Ames, who would be the first?
Miss Patty.
Miss Patty. Miss Patty.
Life.
What's that?
Wondering about her love life.
That's interesting. I'm glad that you're directing me, Patty. She's like, yeah, I feel like I'm getting a broken record information. And you can, especially if Spirit's trying to point out, you haven't fixed that yet, Patty. But let's talk about this love life. Okay? Now, I felt it before. Things are starting to shift. Let's find about Patty's love life because that's important. Miss Patty's love life. Okay, how is her love life doing? Don't reconcile. Then you go back and you repeat. They're saying, break that habit. You said because you keep choosing that pattern, which is not healthy for you. So you kind of choose the wrong, I don't want to say wrong one, but not the one that's going to help you succeed. And they said that you keep repeating, you haven't finished off a past life pattern with somebody, a past life relationship, and that needs to be taken care of. And, they're saying, we're talking about the same person, stop making the effort. So I'm saying, okay, let's say she does break that pattern. What does that mean? It just means that, hey, keep an open mind. It may be a different flavor of a person that you would like to bring in. And you're like, but no. They said, sorry, you need to have your relationship and you need to start flirting because your second chakra is really needing to do youth of hormones that you need. Next.
CJ, she's wondering about her soul contract.
Regardless if you're ready for it or not. Just let you know. That's the heads up. And before we get to her, to being distracted, apparently that's pretty good. When it comes to the soul, I'm waiting for CJ. Is CJ even here? I'm not even sure what part. Don't see it. Anyways, we're going to run with it. Wanting to evolve. Well, there was always something to heal, but they said that you don't really have an aim. The aspect is trying to control the situation, which doesn't allow you to actually get to the goal or the outcome because the issue. So do you know what it feels like to be an it? And it is in the relationship is that you treated like an object. It's like when a killer goes up to somebody and has no meaning, no attachment, no nothing, just boom, hey, they're just in my way, That's an object. And sometimes a person will, especially in relationships, it's like, I had an end result. You just happen to be there and I know how I want it. And therefore that's how it goes. And so your soul is saying, you got to learn, if you're an it, then you are hooked up to the wrong people. You need to transform that it process and stop letting that it happen. And they said, you just can't just walk away. You just can't do that. They says to really change it. So the people you are with, so that you can become a you in that relationship, you have to process that you're discouraged. Discouragement was used, and therefore you end up pushing away what you want. And the energy comes from you, and those people can't see you anything more than an it. And so we need to change the energy from the inside so that the energy in your space, people will respond to in a healthier way. Okay. Hi, James. Huh?
TP.
Okay. So when it comes to your legs, something you did to yourself. That means you took something that was going on and you turned the mirror onto you and all you can see. And so what are we seeing? You have to be indifferent in order to handle the pain. You have automatically feel like there's a disapproval at every second of every corner. And it's within your space growing up that it's an auto response. So you could be going, hey, Brenda, how you doing? And you don't feel that from me when you were growing up. And so your body's like going, I'm looking, I'm prepared. But at the same time, your body, it feels like no, be done with that. Be done with that. Okay. Want to heal that, TP? They said that you'll have to move from stop being an it. Oh, well, it sounds like the other one. You got to notice, they are not God. Okay. They are not your world. They are not the sun that you have to evolve around. You got to stop putting the value over there, and you got to turn that mirror around and stop looking at it. You need to have it so that when the shit comes in, it reflects off and back to everybody else. And I want you to be able to begin to realize that I don't have to disapprove of myself. Okay, no, I'm not doing that anymore. And that's when they said, good, L1D, heal your heart. Next.
Crystal Allen, she's wondering if she has unresolved issues.
Yes. Let's not scream that loud. Yes. You had a lot of trauma with those marriages or with those people, and a lot of lost memory. But heating and brought those type of relationship in was something that happened at 6. And it's what, oh, wow, it must be all about you too did something towards yourself. And that means the energy always has to be directed to you and not in a nice way. And towards yourself, there was a part of you that says, I have to hold a grudge against myself. Now, holding a grudge against yourself, that is very interesting. Look up the word grudge and see if you do that, because there's what? Sympathy. What are you talking about? Duct tape over your mouth and says, no, shh, don't, shh, because that's just going to rile people up. Oh, she's over here. Okay. So Crystal, so what that means is that you have to notice if you are doing those grudges against yourself, all that grudging, so you stop doing that, your life will start to turn around, and that mirror literally will start to turn around. So I'm just going to look up the word grudge real quick, so help you define it a little bit more. And don't just assume you know. Unwilling to give or allow. So if you're unwilling to give yourself love, or you're unwilling to allow yourself to receive. But because, now let me explain, for all of you, your brain only ever sees a mirror. So if you're unwilling to give love to somebody else because they caused pain, your brain only sees that you're unwilling to give love to yourself. And then slowly but surely, we don't know if it's acute, then it can be done quickly. If it is a chronic, then you have to feel all of those experiences that are linked to it, why you need to keep repeating it. For you, if you're going to do it on your own, you got a medicinewomansolution.weebly.com. You can go there and look under healing tools. I would look EFT, emotional freedom technique. Tap that out. I would go into the next step, which has to do with maybe you need to do a cord switching with yourself, with because you're seeing yourself as the they saw you as the enemy. Therefore, you felt like you believed what they said was bullshit, but you believed it though on some level. You want to resolve out the chemical peptide. What's that? An emotion. You want to resolve out the emotion of how you know life. And once you resolve that out, your thoughts will calm down and the emotion will start to dissipate. Set up an appointment, or you would have to work on doing it. I'm going to tell you, if you're going to do it on your own, you better make sure you measure. If you don't measure, you won't know that it's gone down. And most everybody will measure it and think, oh, it's gone. And I will always, okay. All right, next.
Anya, and she says, I keep forgetting to ask, and actually never thought to ask you at all, something very important. Do you have any suggestions or tips on what I can do to get my period back regularly?
Okay.
It's irregular for many years now. I need to do this to have children too. And
it may take several sessions, because one of the things is we have to go in and look at the energy. We have to look at what your soul's trying to say, and then we would start applying tools to start changing the body. Your body already has a habit, okay? Part of the circadian rhythms that occur is that it's out of sort. But why? Why is it your periods are out? Because there is an ego habit. I'm not talking about ego. Amy, what do I use elves and all that? And that's not what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
Okay. So is there a good way to define that? I mean, look it up if you can. That would be great. Because the thing is that when I'm talking about ego, I'm talking about the programs. I'm talking about the thing that lock you in the matrix. And I asked, well, tell me more about this program. And they said, have you ever been depressed? That'd be the first thing. Have you ever been depressed? Have you ever felt awkward? The reason why your periods are off is at 3 years old, there was a part of you that did it. Oh, everybody's done this. A broadcast message to yourself. And what was it? It became a habit that what? I don't want care. A statement of, I'm not doing that when I grow up. I'm not doing that. I'm not. Now, here's the thing about the knots. They will tie you in knots. Amy, you got the answer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, answer.
Okay, it's a noun. A person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. And then the part of the mind that personal identity. In metaphysics, a conscious thinking subject.
Which means when your ego over-identifies with matter, the ego will usually take it personal, will feel like it's in the hot seat. How dare you find flaws? What's all this about? Will have to protect itself. But they're saying there's a pattern. Your ego said, I'm not doing that. I would grow up and say, I'm not going to be like my sister. I am not going to wear slutty clothes. I would not be a drinker. I would not be mean to my mother. I would look at my sister and everything that pissed my mom off, and I watched my sister do it, I would say not. Now, as I got older, guess what? Those knots will control your life. You'll feel timid. How it's linked to the past. You're like, oh shit, I remember that. How do I feel about that now? I remember I am not going to be pregnant at 40. It was like, oh my God, why? Because I remember as a child, my mother had gotten pregnant when she was 40, and I remember that it was hard on her body. And I remember that there was all these other little things that didn't make sense, but I could feel it. And half all of this, that it weighs us down. If you can go think back and just start to go back, and they're saying at 3 years old, towards yourself, you said a not. I am not going to have kids, or I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not. There's a not, whatever it is. And is this yours? No. You picked it up in the environment of somebody that didn't want kids. So now it's not about blaming anybody. It's about how your soul picked up different things. Okay? This is so important for you to get. You can heal a knot out, especially if you can identify it with a particular emotion. And you just have to pay attention to it. And then Patty, 45 minutes into it, that is, I think, your read. So as far as the fibroids. Now, this is huge for women. You have to understand there's always a metaphysical reason. And your body is constantly talking to you endlessly about things. Do we listen? No. I'm going to see if I can find this real quick, because the loves to tell us. And you got to see if you identify. If you're in your ego mindset, you may not hear it. And if you are in your spirit mindset, or if you're listening, you may all of a sudden go, oh shit. And you can make yourself understand where it is, where's the feeling. Believe me, it's not something that fibroids. Rejection. No, so I am not going to be a female. I can't tell you how many women I've run across have rejected themselves. So fibroids can represent rejection. They are caught up in the rejection of their femininity, their sexuality, their womanhood, or motherhood, which means this can occur when you're younger. Now you're ready, but your body's going, I got the program of that not in the past. I think you need to take care of that. Okay? They are manifesting accumulation of unexpressed guilt, shame, inner confusion, or past hurts and abuse that they attributed to being female. The biggest one was, for me, that they're putting up for me right now, was that I was so shocked when I was in junior high. And my girlfriends were already starting to have sex. And I'm like, I don't even want my body touched. And it just blew my mind to think, wait, what? We got to do what? And at the time when I was, let's go a bit further. Or a fibroid could represent betrayal reaction. They are nursing a hurt from a partner in what feels like a repeat of the devastation of their childhood. Remember, anything that's happening now will usually happen at the time of conception up to the age of 7. There has been a blow to the feminine. You can pick that up. Okay? Just to help you make sure it's clear. I'm not even sure which room you're in. Very important to understand your body is constantly talking to you. It really wants to you can get all the information you need. Hey, James just bought his way to the top. Onto the show, you decide. And what is it you want me to talk about, hon? You let me know. Okay? You let me know so we can focus. So I would do one more read, but my moderator is gone. So wait just a moment. I'm going to look into it and see. Wow. Oh, that's just so funny. Now, let's see. That's interesting. As I'm waiting for James, they feel like maybe this is James, something about I'm not the enemy. Somehow you always made to feel like the enemy. So let's look at that. So James, when you decide, here we go. Driving truck right now, Brenda, just want to know what spirit has to think we need one more week, but my mother is gone. Oh, but what am I doing and where am I going? Has to think we need one more week. What? Well, how is your mother? Don't say gone. You mean she's still alive, right? Because if she's not, somebody needs to be telling me these things. Okay. Okay, so you're driving truck right now. Okay. All right. Oh, stupid voice text. Okay, well, I'll let you correct it. I'll let you correct that if you need to, but oh my God, I'm going to say, not your mama. So while you're correcting that, Amy, can you give me another email real quick? Oh, you just want general. Okay, well, hold on. What am I doing and where am I going? Again, I'm going to go back to this because this is what I feel, James. It was what came up. You have to let me know, James. Have you ever felt like everybody's an enemy or people make you the enemy? The key word is enemy. It happens to be you. A have to is when guilt comes in and you have to do it because now it is, I have to do it. Guilt controls you. Okay? What does that mean together? When a have to and a have to guilt comes together with there's an enemy. So you're saying that he has to be the enemy towards himself because people don't like me. Oh, wait, what, James? Hold on. Okay, so in your mind, you believe that you are your own worst enemy because people tell you you're doing it wrong. Is that true, James? Okay, so if that's the case, what do you want him to address? The I. What do you want him to do? He's in a great alarm. Oh, sometimes you just don't want to do anything. I can understand that. So you don't feel like you were motivated. You just seem like you're missing something. How come other people are successful and I feel like I keep hitting a brick wall, and that no matter, and oh, here we go. I see it. According to your Akashic record, it says at 4 years old, as I'm looking at this particular thing, it says you had a broadcast message that you resonated with. It was a reaction that something about, I can't do it right. Oh my God. I hate to say this. I feel a female dominancy. And so you trusted, and yet at the same time, you took a back seat on learning to prove. There's a part of you that said, no matter what, as I try to be me, there just seems to be this pain. So it's like shock therapy. Let's say you put a shock collar on a dog. Okay? Okay, put the shock collar on. Okay? Eventually that dog's going to stop barking. And I feel like in a way, I didn't say it. I did not say it, James. But I feel like in a way that That's what happened to you. So every time James wanted to be James, let's say smart James, or can accomplish anything James, or succeed James, then somebody, all right, let's get his power back. You have to stop making yourself the enemy and stop thinking they're right. Okay, so what if that pattern proves that okay, this is what I established. I fulfilled their desire, this prophecy that I'm an idiot type thing. Okay, but we need to get our power back, James. They said that it's just been such a habit to just go along with it. Just there's a party that's like, oh God, no, I just don't want to play that game anymore. Because really, I feel like you felt like their one friend in the world. I was her only friend, and that I couldn't talk to anybody because nobody likes me. I freaking believed her. Okay, so it's unwinding. It's not to have to get mad. It is to wake up and you can be a bit shocked by it and go, I'm not doing that anymore. And then you start to go and develop where you didn't get to develop. And it's not hard, but it's not easy either. But when you begin to wake up to it, now I keep hearing that the shock collar thing is that you'd be around women that are full of erratic behavior. It is, I didn't say erotic, James. No, James. I said erratic, which means they're like up and down, moody and all this. It's like, and you're like, you don't really know how to approach it because it might bite you. Okay. And I feel that you're stuck when this is what you saw it for. This is what you keep seeing. And that's why you keep drawing those people in his relationships. Because toward yourself, somebody told you that you were the enemy. You're the bad person. You're the stupid person. You because you were so young and impressionable, the post-hypnotic suggestion came through as truth, which it's not. But then you said, fine, I will just fulfill this prophecy so they're right. Well, we're ready to change that, James. Your soul's like, I'm done making myself feel like the enemy, or I have to fulfill that I have to be the enemy for them. I'm done. Okay, now let me just look at this. What do you want him to do? You have to first understand the connection of what you do toward yourself, James. As soon as you start to feel like they're making me feel the enemy, stop. Use EFT, tap it out. You got to begin to see how you make yourself the enemy by the way you talk about yourself. Stop and do EFT. You got to catch it from all angles, and even relationships that make it sound like you're the enemy. Just stop, take in, even though I hear them saying I am the enemy, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Finish it out. You got to disrupt that pattern and that strategy. Energies of people happen. I want you to go to medicinewomansolution.weebly.com and get the healing tool, pick yourself up. And that little boy that has to sit there and take the shit. And you're just like, I mentally can't handle that anymore. Okay? Thank you, James. Remember, EFT and picking yourself up. You can do this, buddy. You're welcome, James. You can do it, hon. You can do it. I believe in you. It feels like a hard road, I know, but you'll get there. All right, Ames.
Benita.
Yes, what'd she say? My sister's way of saying she's here. Was it because I was talking about her? She died. She's on the other side. She's laughing right now. Okay, as you begin to seek a little wisdom, the thing that they're saying that you have to look at is there is a particular feeling that I don't know if you're awake to yet, but I want you to write down the word awkward. I want you to look it up. I want you to see if you use it. I want you to see if you recognize it, because in order for you to really shift is that you have to come in terms with the experience that you had in that awkwardness is stored. It's not about rolling it out. It's about waking your ass up so you can change. And they're saying that awkward's the first. They said, notice that when people begin to treat you like an it, you begin to know because all of a sudden you feel awkward. Now, you're awkward to yourself, which is sometimes can look like self-consciousness. But inside your head, there is not a pretty thing that you've said. Okay. And
well, she was trying. Okay.
what?
Benita, just send $11 and
It'll come up and it'll say PayPal me. Type in exactly $11. Put in what, whatever your details are, and it'll come through as 11. Don't have to figure out the conversion. PayPal already does all that. Thanks, Abe.
And it may seem like it depends. Anywhere from $2.50 to $5.
Okay, so ours is like doubled. So, your $11 or my $11 does not go as far as yours. So it's about the conversion. So it's not about that I got more. It's how the economy works. All right, who's next?
Angela. Alan.
Hi, Angela. I knew there was something different. I could feel something different. I didn't know. So we want this and this. Is that what you want? Okay. So what's interesting is as I'm feeling the loved one up here, there's 3. The first thing they said is that there's a part of you that already knows that the other side is good and it's beautiful, but it's not compared to the same eyes that you see. So it is better. It is more beautiful. It is all this. And they said that you not only is heaven surrounded by loved ones, but you've had something very specific. Now, they said the word bipolar at the same time, and I don't know what that means, except for it is meant to say that you have got to stop. You don't need to identify with that. Understand that that's an identity, but you can change the way you define it now. You start beginning to use tools, or you can start to wake up and balance yourself. It may not be as easy as you think, but you can do so, because they said that the one thing that caused the split happens to be that you're very, very hard on yourself and that you're not loving yourself. Interesting. Why? Okay, I just have to find out, Angela. What do you mean she's not loving herself? Towards herself, inside her head, it's not pretty. Oh, that's why they say when you get surrounded, surround yourself even with the love and all that. Call upon your animal friends that you knew. And even if you don't know your animal friends, you have animal friends around you. I actually see a horse, believe it or not. But you can call upon any animal, especially ones that have to do with your totems. Let's say you didn't have any real live animals, but you do have totem animals. And those totem animals can really be beneficial to help you. I used to have my totem deck, but I would have to make up another deck. All right, who's next? Interesting, because the thing is that I didn't even get a chance to say anything. It's as if you had a blow to the hip, like you had fallen. The energy did come out, but it can start affecting certain parts of your area, because there's certain parts of your body that remember the damage of when you hurt yourself. Well, how old were you? Something happened to you when you were 25. And what are you pointing at? And do you have physical pain? Because the energy is very interesting, because it looks like it's settled pain. It's okay. So like, for instance, if I hit here and it's like, ow, it could go straight up and it can come out the knuckles. But this part of me would remember it. Now, I may feel like I got aches or I've got tightness. The muscle memory, the fascia is holding that particular pattern. And that is the thing I see. So if you happen to hurt yourself, I'd be so curious. Let me know. If you happen to hurt yourself, you can begin to hold the picture of when you got hurt, and you can begin to use EFT to begin to tap out the picture, the pain, because and it helps release it out of the body. I've had to repair my hand that these two fingers broke, and I've had to repair my hand, and it's made a major difference when you begin to start removing it out of the fascia, but you remove it out of the muscle memory, and yes, a lot of pain. Okay. A lot of pain. Whereabouts is the pain? Because again, I see, so did the age make sense? My back. Oh, well, yeah, because I went straight. Any particular dinging somewhere? Oh, yeah, I did. Here it is. There it is. Yes. Now, you can decide, Benita, if you want to do it like this, like I did with James, or you can come on to the big screen and you could possibly get more than 6 minutes. That's up to you.
Just coming on because you do get more for your money that way.
All right. She said, Guerrero says, my ex threw me on the ground the day I got out of the hospital from removing a disc. Holy crap. That would make sense of why it's just, yeah, it's stuck. It's not going anywhere. So the lower back, because it's just the way that the energy shot. Now, this is why I couldn't understand, because it looks like it's spurting out, like the energy went through. But that makes sense. All right, let me look. What do you want? Action is required. You're talking about source point? Are you talking about had an end result? And let me ask you, you said it's an X, that it served you to help save you. Okay? You weren't allowed to talk back from what I can hear, and your body started to do certain things. And because of that, that's one reason that's there. So I feel like your body was a bitch slap to help save you. Is he out of your life? I mean, did this make him get out of your life? Just got to make that connection with me. And how has Benita, has she answered? Remember, It came from, okay, Benita. I don't see what she's asking. I don't see that. So, good job. All right, close that. Don't need that. Go over here. Hi, Pamela. Haven't seen you in a while. I don't know. You just happened to pop in my face. You still got the house? Just curious.
Oh, we kidding.
All right. So as we're waiting for the either Guera to answer or Benita to answer.
Betty.
Huh?
Betty.
Ooh, interesting. My nose went plugged, but I saw cartoon flowers and in a flower box, as if they were, and then becomes, do you have allergies? And if so, chances are just a picture. It has to do with erratic behavior that you had seen, and you could have been watching cartoons when it happened, but it's very much that your body, I mean, I want to start itching. My immune system right here, I want to start itching. My body is doing some form, and I don't know if you're aware of it, but your body is doing some form of, it keeps going back to how it needs to get rid of some of these erratic energies, because it grabs your attention. And then you have to hang on real tight, and you have to focus and be more structured, because your brain says, I can't process what I just feel and seen. So therefore, I have to be very rigid in what I do. And the more I do, the more successful I am to push the erratic energy away. And they said it's time that you can heal that. So L1D, you can heal. You just had a sneezing attack. Well, I appreciate your body communicating with me. And I appreciate that I didn't have to experience that. Okay, so going further. No, not then, but he's out of my life now. Okay, so you must have had to take, from what I can hear, is you had to have a lot of bitch slaps. That's not even nice to say, because in this case, you had a lot of physical hits. But you've had to have a lot in order to change. Now, I'm going to, before we go into Benita, because Benita, we can just tell me what you want to work on, sweetheart, and we will,
Yes, Jen.
I need that attention. Everything just went spacey. Everything, they just unhooked. Everything just went blank. Yeah, you can pay again. Sure, James. Wow, where is it? Okay, hold on, we're going to come in alignment in a minute, Benita. I'm not sure why there is a delay. It's like the Wi-Fi disappeared. Good Lord. Oh. Okay, I don't... see, when I see dead people, they don't come across as the way you would see them. But I'm just going to tell you, somebody very big just walked into the room, and it's like, whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. And I don't know why there has to be sound with a big person, but this we couldn't start until they came into the room. Don't know why. Wonder if that's connected. Oh, you don't have to come on, honey. Oh, that's fine. You don't have to worry about any of that. Just understand, Benita, that the energy of this person, we couldn't start until... says lagging. That's probably why it went spacey. I'm not sure what culture you are, but this person is Spanish, Mexican. I'm not sure. I'm not good with my so just be, bear with me. So what? You just said big getting up. Community, talk to me. Oh, that's cute. Now they're just whispering back and forth. Just because they are making it, and sometimes he's saying, oh, he just changed. He said sometimes we make things larger than life, larger than they need to be, because now he's changed. He's changed shape. He looks like he has a normal head with a regular body, I guess. You have this particular awkward feeling. And that awkward feeling actually makes you feel weak. And they said she may not be aware that it's like you can hear all of a sudden it's like, well, I can't do this. I can't do that. And it's like the best way to put it is if you use any type of excuses or any type of reasoning or just have to self-justify, that is when you're touching your arrested development to develop further. You can get up to it. You're like, and then all of a sudden you get there. And all of a sudden it stops. And there's a part of you that your body just starts to produce this awkward feeling, and your thoughts then come into self-justification. It's got to use excuses and reasons, and it just goes on. And I'm like, okay, so I can see this pattern. What's that about? And it's about having to do what's right. What's weird is it doesn't match the next words, which is toward yourself. So do you feel you're doing what's right for yourself? Oh, that's it. You believe, okay, ego-wise, you think you're doing right for yourself, but it really is just keeping you in this particular pattern. And there's a part of you, your soul's like, it feels like it's urging forward, but it can't get to the next stage. And they said the only way to really help you get to the next stage is notice that, oh my God, what's going on? Allergies, no. Nose. You need to know. We're playing charades. You need to know of your habits that keeps you in the dark. He just said yes. I don't know what you're saying yes to. Did you want me to finish? Yes is your answer. I don't know what you just asked. Anyway, here you are. Well, what was I going to say? You scared me when you said yes. Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Here you are. You have, oh my God, life just seemed, okay, so you must have had spirit kind of give you some good stuff. You know you're waking up and it's like, where does spirit go? So you got the taste of spirituality, but now it disappears and you feel like, holy shit, I'm back to square one. Maybe I have no money, or I don't have this, or I don't have that. And you're like, ah, and your head feels like you're just gonna, why does it seem to work? Stop. Okay, what am I really, what's going on here? And they said, if you address awkwardness, begin to feel the experience of it, you can process it out. Hand thing. Hey, did you have to smack me? Strong energy over here. But he wants to show the passion of this that he's serious about, because he know it works. I don't know how you know it works, but you know it works. Hope therapy is what I do the most, okay? You might have to make an appointment with me. But if you can just remember, left wrist, first position, that's right, what your finger is. You put your thumb there. Put your finger here, and you wrap around, and you're going to breathe it through. Your body may feel funny. Are you I ain't saying that. He says you're gassy. That's just not what I want to say. You are just a booger over there. Oh, good. You understand that? Because all of a sudden, I just want to call him a fart knocker. I don't know why, but there is this. Now he wants to banter with me. He's shoving my face. Okay, you stay over there. Your hands are off now. Carlos! Oh, here we go. Yay! Padita. My best friend that passed. Oh, makes sense. There was a song. I don't know what the song is, but it wants to make me groove. Oh, that would make sense of why the interruptions, because he read what you wrote and goes, yes! It scared the crap out of me. Oh, anyway. Just happy. Just very happy. You have the crotch issue. Don't touch. Don't just, I don't need to, what? I love you. Okay. Just could have just said that. Weird. Anyway, hey, don't you think I should have some blonde streaks? I just feel like I just need to have 2 blonde streaks. Just right here. Nowhere else. Just a couple blonde streaks. See, they're like, oh, look at this. We could cover up this gray and this little weird part here. All right. We have 3 beauticians in the house. Y'all just leave my head alone. I'm going to sit on my hands. I don't know what it is about you, beautician, whatever you. Yes, you did, love. Okay. Oh, they're teasing me now. Oh. Okay, so James, what did you want to continue on? Oh my God. Leave me alone. I'm going to stick Amy's mom at you. Nobody's supposed to touch my hair but Amy's mom. Oh my God. Now somebody's a stylist over there. They go, what the hell's wrong with this sweater? Leave it alone. Okay, so if anybody you know that was on the other side that, I'm going to sit on my hands. She's laughing. She goes, that's Carlos. Okay. I'm keeping my hands down here, and I'm going to look and see what James wrote. I have a question about this new girl I'm seeing. Her name is... Okay. There are things going pretty good, but... Oh, shoot. Hold on. I'm going to see more. Also, I have been feeling my grandfather a lot lately and smelling him. I was just going to say, I want to sneeze because I smell smoke or something. He just says, pipe tobacco. Okay. I know he's been around a lot. Wondering about the same as my horse Moose. I have been I've heard really horse hooves a lot when I am out walking, just wondering about that. Ooh, y'all, who's got the stiff neck? All of a sudden I can't even turn my neck now. It's like, oh my, okay, so if we're talking about James, I mean, literally, I feel like I'm wearing a collar. Well, maybe I'm the horse. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past it. Seriously, honestly. Oh my God. I just got swimmy headed. I can't even begin. Hold on. Did someone die with James? Okay, I'm not sure how they passed, but boy, oh my God. You the grandfather? Are you an animal? You're an animal. Oh, which animal did we say? A horse. Is it a horse? Of course. Oh, don't be singing Mr. Ed as a joke. Were you little when you had the horse? Because I just want to... Beaky the Buzzard. Did you like Bugs Bunny? Did you... I'm sorry. This horse is talking to me through cartoons. As a way to make a connection to you. Okay? So, it ends to you now, but don't be surprised if all of a sudden you're looking at something, watching something, and, you know, you're like, oh, now I get it. Oh, Mr. Ed. Oh, so I thought it was, he's, so you like talking to him, hey? That would make sense. Hold on. Okay, that's why you got the horse thing and this and that. So you spent a lot of time. No horse, died 3 years ago. Seriously? You have had a bond with some type of animal that's, you know, if you know Mr. Ed, that's the horse, of course. You'll get the reference. I don't know what this is all about, but I just know that if I didn't connect with it, it was going to make me very swimmy and sick. Swimmy and sick. I don't even know what that is. That the way? No. Ask. Was he felt like he was poisoned? Did he feel he has an upset stomach? Something occurred because it's really pointing out the stomach. What are you looking for? This one? Yes. Well, that don't go with that. Aw, the spirit path of the South is unconditional love. Renewing and connecting in with that love for animals will cause you to feel that there's a partnership somewhere. So is this new girl, you don't know how he died? Well, it feels like some type of a stomach and in the head, because my head went swimmy. It's as if it's really interesting how I feel. Do I need to know more about how you died? No, just know that it was quick. It was painless. You? Animals pick up stuff all the time. Like, my bird wanted me to look at the reason why the bird took on the issue he did was because the energy of the cage needed to change. So I had to take out 2 birds so the rest of the energy of it can change. What I understood from this horse was simply it picked up the awkwardness, the wounded pride, and it was picking up energies. And it was processing out some of the pain. This is one thing that animals do. This is one of the things. They are very loving, compassionate. They love to help especially horses, but then again, every other animal pops up and says, well, I do it too. They give this compassion that is very, what do you call it, therapeutic. And just know that one of the things that he loved about you was that when you'd come up, you may not have been stable as far as your emotion. There was this bond. And that was, just remember, there was a bond. And then it felt like when he passed, he wasn't alone because he felt the unconditional love. Yeah. He felt that, and to the point where it was, doesn't mean if he's physically alone, you were on its mind. Yes, gotcha. So it didn't have to feel. Okay. The horse wanted to make sure you understood that when you have to have some things in common. The more you actually have in common, the more you guys are going to bond and roll with it. But if you have tracked it in the energy where they have to be the boss, then you have some growing to do. This new girl, it is about, there's really not a lot of problems. Now, when it comes to, does she understand spirituality and where you're at and you have abilities? And yes, your grandfather says, yes, I love teasing you. He says, because one of the things is that don't convince yourself that she's the one just because you're afraid to be alone. You want to make sure you have some compatibility and more consistent with the correct one. And they said, just be aware that it is your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So when you love yourself, when you care, when you put that oxygen mask on first and you don't lose your shit or go into a trauma or a drama, you're going to sparkle and shine. And when you do that, you're going to make yourself very handsome. You got to deal with the fact you don't think you deserve love. This goes back onto the first reading that I talked about, because they said that you are lovable, but somewhere you're made the enemy, so you can't see that you are. I know you are, James. I know you are. You're a great soul, James. You're a great soul. And I know you are. And you have to heal that part out like I told you about so that you can get that love that you deserve. Okay? You really... Yes. Yeah, because I'm going to tell you the reason why. Now, did that girl better be a horse girl? Which I thought was just funny. You're going to pick them. Yeah. I feel your grandfather's also guiding you to maybe not to repeat something. So before we go, it's something about notice, like when you're thinking or having a particular emotion that is unhealthy, you might smell a cigar smoke. That is your cue to say, wait, I don't need to overthink. I don't need to believe that. I can pull my energy back to me and not go there. So I think your grandfather wants to help you break a habit. That's what I heard. Okay. Anyone else? Aimster?
Ronnie.
All right, let's see what we have here. Oh. Miss Ronnie, ready? Stifled, bored, and stuck. You gotta find something that stimulates you. They said it's time to be holding on. The way you've been holding on to life has been way too tight, and Spirit is trying to break that loose. So no bitch slaps, please. But start to let go of some particular behavior or the way you think, and you should be able to what is it about? Do you pout? It's time to give that up, according to Spirit. It's time to give up the pouting. If you pout, you may not even be aware of it. And they said, when if you do, understand that is your little 1-year-old self that says it can't cope. So you're going to hold L1D and focus on pouting and focus on that you can't cope. Okay, who's next?
Issues.
Are you concerned about your health now? Because it's called objective reality. Is influenced by your inner cord. What you're going to attract to you, what you're going to choose. You're going to choose the same shit as the day before, unless you resolve it out. But that quantum field has all potential things in the future that says you can be 100% healthy. So I'm going to go back to see what you're picking it up from the TV set. You're picking it up the way people talk, and your body is saying, oh, I got to worry about this. That does affect your health because it is to the point where you feel like you got to look for it. And one thing amazing about your body is if you need usually help, you will just know. But I just feel like I can't get somebody to love me the way I love. Okay? There's a certain way you love. I want you to look at the 5 languages of love, and I want you to find out which one you are. And then I want you to say, thank you, Spirit. You can go to medicinewomansolution.weebly.com, send out, look for the golden lasso, feel that you're being loved. You're going to create a disturbance in your energy field. In this energy field, there's something about how the hystericalness is something you're just driving yourself mad about. And because you're driving yourself mad about it, the energy is not distributing through properly, and you're compelled to have to do something. Now, this could be OCD. This could be that you got to constantly go, and then take care of it. But a lot of your energy is not towards making you healthy, but it's towards self-abuse. Will you create a physical issue? Not per se. You are more affected by hitting yourself in the mental and the emotional, and life can just be rocky. Doesn't have to be that way, but be aware that if you start to have anything less than love, you can heal it out. Give yourself that option, give yourself that tool, and give yourself that empowerment. You start to feel physically sick, go do the 4 thumbs. Okay, medicinewomansolution.weebly.com. Start doing the 4 thumbs. You can then start stimulating it. Go do the Hara, Horary, jet lag pay on the thing, and start tapping and rubbing those points, and that'll help. But I haven't got those up yet. Okay. How am I to, what is she saying? I can't quite see it.
Oh, Kayla says absolutely how I am to an exact T.
Oh, that's what I couldn't see. Okay. All right. We got to heal that, hon, because your body is really good. It's just that, okay, that's probably why I've seen that picture. For instance, I was having asthma issues. I just kept thinking, oh, my body, blah, blah, blah. Spirit says, what are you thinking? I says, oh, I think my body is. And the next thing you know, I had to go to the doctor. And it's like, oh, I'm going to do this. And I went there and found out that my lungs are pretty good. It's just that my neck does panic, which then causes the panic to go down into my lungs. Panic causes me to be sick and creates a pattern. Panic locked into my nervous system because of a particular freak out that I had as a child causes me to have an immune system issue. I have greatly improved my health. But what I got back from the doctors was that my body is actually quite amazing. My blood pressure is great. My triglycerides are high, but my cholesterol is perfect. all of those other things that they're like the only marker is the triglycerides. But I know why that is doing that. And I've healed quite a bit in my life. I would love to be able to heal it, but what does the physical body supposed to look like anyway? It isn't supposed to be a stick figure, I can tell you that. But at the same time, it is the most comfortable I feel is looking like this. And yet, so it's you have to be patient with yourself, and then you have to heal. Like one of the things that I had to learn, which Amy's in the process of, is that I had to take a bunch of pictures of myself. Different poses, different smiles, different eye gestures. And when I had no idea that when I took all these pictures that I was displaying over time. I had to look at it and say, I love you, and stop looking at any flaws. And any flaws I did see, I had to go and tap it out. I didn't have hope therapy then. And it's been like, oh, I don't like my face. Even though I had to measure it 10, I don't like my face. I had to tap it out till it was 0. Yeah, I don't really mind. Sad. Even when I was smiling. I thought, oh my God. And then I started this is way before I began to do hope therapy. And I started to heal out. Well, not just my face, my body. Slowly but surely, when you have things that have been chronic, it takes time to take care of. But the other things is you can break certain habits, change certain patterns, and get, you can incredibly move. Does this make sense? Hi, Nicole. Very good. Okay. So I'm just going to double check to make sure nobody else is paid. And then just double check again. And how many more 1 minute reads do we have?
3.
All right. Who's next?
Oh, she wants to hear from loved ones.
Okay. You pause for a second. I didn't hear the name. Sorry.
Ellie.
Okay. She wants to hear from loved ones. Commercials. Oh, somebody just paid. Commercials seem to be running through my head. So I don't know if you sing commercials or if the person on the other side sings commercials, but there was always something about a commercial. This can be the light, funny, airy ones. I don't know if you made fun of them or if a person did. What? We can hear you loud and clear when you talk, especially when you're ranting and you're loud. You don't know that we're not eavesdropping. It is, you think of us, we're there. Okay, that's like a phone call. When you need us, believe it or not, we're there. Start talking. I don't care if you think it's nuts. We actually hear you. You don't have to scream because it's not that we're deaf. Because you can even whisper. What was that? I just saw something quickly. Okay, so Ellie, you're welcome. Okay, everything's going off at once. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. When they talk to you. And so, who's the 1 minute read? Who can you give me the next person real quick before we move up the expedite? Now, $11, how much it is. So, and sometimes people can only donate certain things. So I will readjust the time. Because it didn't come through as 11. So I will readjust the time. As soon as Amy did you know who the 1 minute read is? You muted. I don't hear you if you did say the person's name.
Inez.
Oh, yeah. Anything particular with her or just a regular?
Just a regular.
Okay. Something's got my attention, Inez. INESE?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Hey, girl. How you doing? Okay. Wow. Something's got my attention. It's like, I have to focus on this. I have to focus on this. And it's like, wait, what? Why do I have to focus on this? Because it's annoying me. It's annoying me. So you have somebody in your life that doesn't like something that you're doing or something, and they can't stop focusing on something. So it makes it very hard to connect. They're really, it's really, and I can't say it's you, because I feel like it's like, hold on, I can't talk to you. I can't connect. I can't. And they said that there's a lot of pride issue. There's somebody that you have in your life that has pride issues, and it can really jack you up, because when they have a pride issue, it's like your defenses go up. And there's something about feeling very awkward, but you keep attracting this. It's a habit. And they're saying that if you were to take and stop being oversympathetic, because do you have a program that sits in you that says, I have to be something I don't want to be, but the oversympathetic is forcing me to be something I don't want to be. So you have to notice when you're getting triggered. You can be sympathy all you want, but if someone is doing this and draining you, then it's not a very good relationship. And it becomes that you're drained and they don't move. So usually when I see something like this, I will tell you, if they are complaining or upset about something, say, here's a healing tool. They'll avoid the subject. They'll begin to seem different. But if they want it, they'll grab a hold of it, and then you can start forming a different relationship that you want to talk about. Now, it didn't come through as 11. It came through as 8. So I can't give you the same amount as everybody else, just to let you know. So I will readjust the time. But what is it you wanted to talk about, hon? I appreciate you. Crystal wants to talk about. Then after that will be Nicole Marie Simpson. And then you can tell me what you want to talk about, too. And you can come on, or you don't have to. We can do it like this. So I'm waiting for Crystal to answer. You gotta figure out where she's at.
She's on the big computer.
Okay, so give me that last one.
Diana.
All right, Diana. Oh, Crystal. No, okay, I see what you're saying. The reason we do these on the show here is because you get an incredible discount. And usually when it's a private read, it has to, it will cost more. So it's around 11 p.m. here right now, and I really, once I'm done with the show, I don't want to do any private reads. So if you want me to refund your money, I can, just to let you know. I just don't have it in me, because for $8, discreetly.
Brenda is very discreet.
Okay, so she said we could do it here. Let me see. I gotta figure out how to open this up without. So give me a second to get into that messenger. I just hope I don't go down on. That's not what I want to say. I don't want YouTube to disappear. Just give me a second here. Diana, let's take care of that, hon. Oh, yeah, you did. Diana, you have a bird that's coming through. And the birdie says, can then take the other. So the bird is for you is a medicine woman and owl medicine. So what does that mean for you? Medicine woman, Diana. That actually rings a bell. When I look at owl medicine first, it says wisdom. illumination, intuition, clairvoyance, and deep insight abound. Go within. Profound majestic and grace is available to you by simply they are afraid of the owl because of it represents the power of a woman, and they are in awe of and even afraid in the darkness of the night. So they're saying start to do some meditation that will literally allow you to go into the space you need, because they're saying that the medicine woman card is profound inner and outer healing is occurring for you right now. Okay. I'd say meditate. That's what I'd say. Just go meditate, Diana. Your birdie. Oh, that's right. You had a lyric key. That's why I see him. He says, meditate. Okay, Crystal said she'd go last. That means I need to talk to the other one, which is Nicole. Nicole says, just messages from spirit. Love to know anything, health or love. Gotcha, Nicole. So Nicole, you're up. Okay, the cards. Well, don't hide them on me, we will. Okay, you're gonna grab the love cards, but something about the relationship of the self. They says you deserve love. The question is, am I lovable? They want you to address it in a certain way. Am I lovable? Am I lovable? And the thing is that what are all the rainbow signs about? What are all the rainbow signs about? The rainbow, that's not the, oh, I'll pull that up. And no. Yes. Okay. You're coming out of a deception, and that it has to do with learning about your faith. The more you begin to dive into the spiritual mindset, that's where the faith is. The best way to get that faith is to process out these emotions. Hold on. Good God. These emotions, what emotions are they? Is it more than one? Do they felt the same time? No. You have 5 emotions that they want you to work on. And the first emotion, I hope you write these down, girl. Oh, it's an inherent emotion. Your first one is efforts unreceived. The next one is to be, failure. So efforts unreceived, failure. Another inherited one, when these all come about. Did I give 5 or 4? Somebody pay attention. All right, well, if I missed one, let me know. They said the money thing is that you feel uncertain about it because you disapprove of yourself. And when you disapprove of yourself, then the particular outcome that you want, you're actually blocking. You're money blocking. Like cock block, you're money blocking yourself. Really? Okay, and they said it's because you shame yourself. You shame, look up how a person shames, but look how you shame yourself. And what happens is then my brain just goes into this messages. You have to look at how you disapprove and you shame yourself, okay? The program in the environment is tripping this last one, and it says it's a reproach. Okay, so that means you can have a great environment. And all of a sudden it's like, how do you approach something? Okay? Like you're going to do homework, you're like, and you read something, and your brain goes, oh, is the same is just to say, I want to approach my, a child, but you don't know if they're going to scream at, or I'm missing one. Oh, I'm just going completely blank, which is a totally feel it. Yes, apples applies to everything. Okay, then that makes sense. So they said to notice these words because it makes up the story of when you were 2 that I can't cope. Literally, you created all these symptoms and all of these reactions about that you can't cope. If you were going to do, Nicole, L1S is left wrist, first position, but I want you to put your thumb in deep, L1D. Push in deep. And I want you to think, I can't cope. So when the alarm goes off, when you feel like your efforts are unreceived, and when you about something you can't cope. So L1D, okay, here it is. And then you put it on the scale from 0 to 10, and then you just sit there and think about it until it starts to go down. Now, you don't want it to just go down and you're like, oh, it's a 6. No, stay focused until you feel it gone to 0. And when you think it's gone, that could be probably a 2 or 3. Stay just a little bit longer, and you may have to move your eyes around or let your mind drift. But if you catch yourself and you're like, and you put your hand up and then you're like, oh, I can't think about it, it's because you're not quite ready. Get enough information about the words, and then eventually you're going to be tripped just enough and you go, and then you won't reject, you won't forget, you won't push your hand away. You'll be in harmony of releasing all of those emotions. And you may have to do them one at a time, but they all do make up a story of I can't cope. Okay? Good job. Now, Crystal, what is it you want to talk about, hon? And is there any more emails? Just want to make sure.
Nope.
Okay. So
I'm trying to think why I've got one.
Is it something you're doing towards yourself? All right, you're taking the blame about something. You're taking the blame because you're taking the blame. I blame myself. I blame myself because of. So you have been waking up to a notice of a particular pattern you have? Like, can you see when you're lofty?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're beginning to see that now. Do you like that part of who you are? Or are you okay. So what's happening is you, towards yourself, you're like, I don't like this. All right. So you are beginning to process what it is that no longer serves you, and you're ready to pull this chunk out. Is she ready now? No. You have to get to a stage, hopefully, with grace and ease, where it's okay. Oh, how do you want to put this? I'm not saying that until I look. Okay, oh, don't you take it out of my head. Amy, don't say it out loud. It wasn't that bad. It just wanted to know the definition of it. You sneaky little girl.
What?
Part of you's like going, I don't really know if I want that. Don't do. Come on, give it back to me. You're making it so I'm blind as a bat. It stood out. Got it. Ha ha. I love you, Amy. And some of you are going to think, God, she's so mean to Amy. No. I'd like more grace and ease. When you were about 7 years old, you had to make a point. Now, I think that the only way that you could survive as a 7-year-old was that you had to become arrogant. You had to reveal an exaggerated sense of one's own purpose or importance or ability. Now, did you step up and, hey, look, don't get rid of me because, there's no kids left. Okay, so you didn't see her mouth move, but it did. So you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear anything you just said.
I said I don't remember.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so they're saying that they're all interconnected because when your brother died, they all lost themselves. But the way they jumped back in, one person went deeper into using the substance, another went back to where you did not feel like you were important anymore because you're like, but I'm not blood. But you were. It's just, I'm going to tell you, like when my brother died, I was blood, okay? But my brother died. My mother was distraught. I'm like, where's my mommy? I mean, I could feel her body. I could see her, but she was not home.
Mm-hmm.
just, she wasn't home. So there's always this wall that you don't know how to carry forward when it comes to all of this pain. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So a part of breaking apart that pattern, which is starting to not serve, is based on your 7-year-old that had to figure out how to become important, at the same time be lofty, because you tried many, you didn't want to be lost in the shuffle. It makes sense. So as soon as you get to a little bit more, and they said to help you get rid of the headache, you do source points. Okay. Look how you did it to yourself, how you've turned everything to yourself, turn it in to hurt yourself. They want you to do bladder, triple warmer, and large intestine. Source point, those 3. Crystal, my dear, I wanted to know if there are any mess had when my mom and my grandma died. All right, I'll try. The type of information that comes through may not be what you think, because I was trained in a different area. So let's just give me a second to feel. Oh, I keep hearing that. I know you feel alone. I know you feel alone, but you're not. I feel like your energy is up. You're not grounded. And so they're looking at you going, you just feel alone. You feel like you're trying to, you can't ground yourself. It's like that scared you. Something about it scared you. You feel like your safety of these particular women are not there. So you feel like you're left alone. Do you want to go live? You want to come on live? We can go live if you'd like to. Okay. Yes, that's right, Vicky. What are you doing so early? Blinds the bat. Why was that a zinger for me? And then why the hell am I up? Why is she up? So if I look to why blinds the bat really was a zinger for, it was a great reminder of that sometimes you feel attacked. Feeling attack and anxiety. How can you see? How can you do it? Well, if you know about bats, they can do it with sonar. But sometimes you can't see it coming. Erratic behavior. Okay. You're up because there is this subtle energy that has pressure you to wake up. You know how good you are at talking to the dead. You felt uncomfortable when you were sleeping, and somehow now you're awake. Your body said it wanted to take action. There's a part of you that had to give up on something, and you're like, I'm wrestling with that because I'm just pissed that I have to give it up. Does that make sense to you? They said the dark night of that soul is like, I don't want to give that up. Now, all of a sudden, I feel drunk. I don't know who's here, but it's like, oh. So I don't know what it is that you're supposed to give up, but become aware that it could be something that used to work for you, but now just makes you sloshy. Sloshy? Well, that's the word they used. Sloshy. The freaking word is sloshy. Oh, I'm sloshy. Not wanting to give up certain things for sure. Yeah, well, that's probably why it was like, no, I'm not saying that. All I'm going to say, Vicky, grace and ease, please. 4th chakra and the 1st chakra, and you're like, oh, I got to take some of the things I do to myself, and I got to stop doing that. Really, they are superior beings and they use the word sloshy? Hey, you try translating light language to this chick. Hey! System, I'm aware of this. Vicky! Look at me blame. You guys are funny. Oh my God. Okay, guys, honest to God. Okay, who is here? Get away. I'd like my beauty back, please. Who is the comedian on the other side that sounds a little bit snarstic? Seriously, Vicky, is this your relative? RF1D. What in the world are you talking about? My head is spinning. All right, so I'm assuming that Crystal is having issues. Oh my God, I feel like I'm leaving my body. Oh, we're not playing that game. Huh. Maybe it is your friend. We're not playing that game. Hey, they're not too bad. Well, they are, but they're not too bad. Looks a little better. Right foot position, one deep, baby. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to say it, Crystal, but I feel like they think that you're paranoid. Just bear thing right there. That is actually a door hinge. Okay? But it's like misinterpreting what can be seen, understood. They said that the part of that imagination goes there first. And system of the caudate nucleus, which is where your biology of fear is. This is where your fear is the caudate nucleus. The more fear you have, the more that sits there and pulsates. And you have to learn to readjust to some of the things that you may think is something that's fearful. Simple conversation. They wanted you to understand, you hear criticism, it cuts you like a knife. And you do it way too much to yourself, which then causes you to go into a relationship of frightfully overjoyed and love and hate. Because of this, it throws off your hormones, because I'm having a hormone flash only on half of my body. Okay, I don't understand that, but that means, oh yeah, I do. That means that your connection of your left side is not communicating with your right side. Okay, which ones are doing it? 30 times, and that is these two bones come together and you feel them joining. Okay, you get in there and you rub it good 30 times, both sides, and it'll start to balance out the two halves that are messed up. Okay, they said that then you were 31, you have a certain amount of pain, physical pain that is stored in the body from a blow. And it's obsessed looking for the next blow. Your body, if not your mind, is looking and is looking for it, but there's nothing there. So this is where sometimes you see and hear things from the other side, but really it is part of the memories, because there was a part of you that was frightened. This looks like a PTSD to me. Your brain is looking at, I heard it. I heard a noise. So the time of the incident of something. And now all of a sudden I feel like something strange going up the side of my face is as if somebody touched me. My body begins to react in a certain way. My body feels like it's going through a PTSD, and my mind starts to play tricks on me because it's not the present. And you're beginning to know that, but what's happening is your body is reliving something. And this is why you're getting mixed messages on the intuitive level. And they said that you can, some of the words was, you have it coming to you. And I don't know if somebody died and said before they died, they says, I'm going to come back and haunt you. It's like, good night, Diana. But somebody's going to come back and haunt you, if that makes any sense. There's some type of belief. Yes. That's when I was going through those domestic and they beat me. Yes. Yeah. Okay, your body. So what are you going to have to do is that every time again, part of your brain does not play it out as much as your body does, but your mind will start thinking it hears something, and there's certain kind of actions like you feel. I want you to do emotional freedom technique. Even though I'm hearing that noise, okay, I deeply, completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel like something's bad's going to happen, do the EFT because your body is asking, can you make this stop? Can you make this stop? It's stuck in a loop, okay? So you need to catch certain things, okay? Yeah, but your body certainly, because it's the body's consciousness, and you're certainly remembering it. Getting those two to communicate. This is why they made that message. Your family made that message in the beginning that said that you feel like you're out of your body, and that the support system that you had is not there that you can rely on. And so to move forward, it's kind of scary without a support system. And it's just easier to not recall or remember the horror that you had to endure. So you don't have to recall it. Just start getting the body to release it. Even if you can't connect, just notice that maybe it's like, oh, I don't feel right. Okay, even though I don't feel right. Okay, slowly but surely you can start to help the body to release. All right. All right. Thank you very much. Any other emails? Because I'm getting really tired.
Don't believe so.
Okay, I'm going to double check again. Make sure that no one else is paid. Okay, and that looks good. Oops. What the world did I touch there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, well, thank you, Robert. Good morning. Thank you for your service to others. May we all heal and move forward and resolve to evolve, because I really want to see people become to joy, happiness. I know that one myself. Okay. And I can't read that, Amy. My eyes are not letting me. What did she say?
And then I had to tell my mom to just let go at the end.
That is tough. I had to do the same thing with my mom, because my mom's like, I says, Mom, it's okay. Your daughter is going to be taken care of. I'm going to see to that. So it's not that you didn't finish. You did what you were supposed to, and I'll see to it. And I told her, it's okay. We got this. You taught us well. It's okay. And we love you. And then everything took place.
My mom did too.
Yeah, it's just, I get it. But wow, they're suffering. It's in an accident and they're not dead, but they're told that they're going to die. It's, well, we got to kill you off. We got to take you off life support instead of just letting you linger. That one's the worst. That's the worst, hands down. But I don't know how to deal with her death. I'm just okay with it. Yeah, okay. I'm going to give you one tool, which was EFT, but I'm going to give you another. When you think of your mother and you don't know how to deal with it, grab left wrist, first position, put your thumb there, put your finger in the palm, wrap your fingers. The thumb, you're going to push in deep. That's the heart. You're going to place your hand here, and I want you to just feel. Just feel. Think of your mom. Talk to your mom. And whatever comes up, put it on a scale from 0 to 10. Let it be like, oh my God, I can't feel anymore. Even indifference. Even in, if you can't process and you know that you can't process, put that on a scale from 0 to 10. Keep your hand there, and eventually your thoughts, the emotions, everything will start to change. The emotions will start to calm down. The thoughts will begin to have more clarity, and then you'll be able to feel their love more. You'll be surprised, because I feel my mother and my sister all the time. You can do this, Crystal. can do this. Okay. I love you all. I'm going to go to bed now. Amy can go back to bed. I love the fact that we kind of matched. That's kind of cool.
Oh, by the way, my headache is gone.
Yeah, sometimes the rationalization, you're like, oh, shoot, that's what that is. You know, we don't need symptoms. And you see, you're going to get to where you need to go, sweetheart. You're getting there. Slowly but surely, but you're getting there. Grace and ease, always. Evolve.
Heal instead of deal.
You can heal that and stay blessed.
Yes.
That is such an important thing to do, is if you don't learn to receive your blessings, it's going to start raining on everybody else, and you'll feel like you've gotten missed because you says, no, it's okay. Other people need it more than me. No, you're important too. Remember that. All right. Love you. And you have a good night. We'll see you later. And you, YouTubers, we will see you on the flip side.